Okay, we're going to talk about themes briefly. Now, the reason I've left this till last is that although everyone frets over how their website looks, in practice you've actually got a bit of time to get this sorted out, because the most important thing in my mind is to get some content up there and get Google crawling round, because until they've done that, humans aren't going to even look at the site anyway apart from you. So you can do content first, which is what I'd suggest, and then themes soon after. The default nowadays is 2012 theme, which is, as you've seen, quite ugly. Now, to my mind, obviously change that wording, but to my mind I'm quite happy with that, because I want people to, if I'm doing a site, I want people to basically read the text, look at the images if need be, and click on links and buy stuff. But a lot of people prefer to have something that looks a little bit prettier. If you've got, like I showed you with HostGator where it installed earlier versions, you'll have probably 2010 and definitely 2011 themes there as well. If it's gone straight to version 3.5, you won't. You'll just have the 2012 theme, the one that they're happiest with recently. But any other installed themes, you can click on the thing that says Live Preview, and it does what it says on the tin. It gives you a preview of what the site would look like, and basically all that's done is change the header. But you can also change the tagline, and that happens as it goes, but it won't save it because I'm not going to tell it to. You can change the colours, so just clicking light or dark will give you that. Personally, I don't like reversed out text, which is where it's white on black. I much prefer black and white, it's easier to read. The layout, content to the left is standard nowadays, don't change that unless you're graphics designer freaks, but basically don't change it. Header image you can change. Background image, I tend not to use one, I find it distracting. Static front page is what we set on the other one, so you can cancel out of that. And then install themes. Now that will give you the standard WordPress search, and it's very easy to get distracted on there for ages. You can do all sorts of things. I find that those tend to narrow them down quite a lot, but you can search for a keyword, search for newest if you're one of these people that prefers newest, and you can preview any of those. And so you choose one that you think looks okay, you can preview it, and it now previews you what your current site would look like ish on that. Close out of that, and you go through, and as I said, you can spend hours, or you can find a graphics designer who will just design you a site for however much money you want to pay them. They're all over the place on pricing, ranging from very, very cheap to very, very expensive and all points in between. And you just tell them you want a WordPress design, or you can go to a site like ThemeForest, which the URL for this will be in the PDF that accompanies this course. As you can see, there's 8,000 at the time of viewing, and you can search by WordPress, which is what you want. Now these are themes that other people will have used. That's fair enough. And again, you can choose whatever. So you want a corporate look, you can go for that. It doesn't much matter with the fact that other people have used it. You won't be the only one in the world. There's millions upon millions of websites out there. And if you're going to search, it'll default by date. Don't do that. If you want a shortcut, go by sales. So you find the site designs that have been, and they're roughly $50 at ThemeForest. They're not much different. Some are $45, some are $40, but most are $50, $55. And then you can preview that and see why other people like it. And you've got screenshots, live previews, all sorts of things, and a sales pitch on what it does. So if you're stuck for a theme, ThemeForest is a good place to start if you can't find one in the default themes, but there are loads of those, and some, again, if we go for a search, one word I often just type in is premium, because those tend to be slightly more corporate-y, that particular one. But a premium theme isn't premium because WordPress will only link to ones that are free or start free, and then you have the option of paying more. So that particular one looks like a very good slideshow type one, very standard modern design. You can install it literally by clicking install, and you can activate. Doesn't matter, you can always go back to the previous one. So that's now activated. Demo site, visit the site. That's as quick as it was to change the look and feel of the WordPress site. I don't particularly like that design, but that's fine. You can do that regularly, and you just go back and reinstall 2012, wherever that's gone to, activate. That's how you change the look and feel of WordPress. So now you know everything that you need to know. If you don't, there's a few places you can go for support. One is Fiverr, where there's people that will sort out any WordPress problem you've had. Often for just $5, sometimes for 2 or 3 lots of $5, it varies. Or you can search YouTube, there's tutorials on WordPress coming out of your ears. But this will give you 95% upwards of what you need to know, and the other 5% will be individual to you, so you'll need to find what you need to find, if that makes sense. But thanks for watching, and if you've got any general questions, drop me an email. I'll do my best to reply or point in the right direction. Okay, thank you very much.